Hello, dear folks. Welcome to the show. My name is Jack Chow with the G&E TV on East West Show. It's been quite a while. We haven't touched the subject of education, which is a big one, always a big one, probably the biggest to me to this show, as you know that already. With Mr. Wei Law, the founder and the CEO of California Sunshine Education Center, we had done some good job in the past, which had received quite a comment. I mean, they come in profusion on emails or even telephone calls to express how they like it. Especially those of you who happen to be somebody's parents, they really like this show. The reason is that the subject of education being the core issue of the nowadays society, of the future society, of the posterity. So today, once again, I have the honor to have Mr. Wei Law, founder and CEO of California Sunshine Education Center, to come here join me in the discussion about his recent trip to China.
Hello. Hi, Jack.
Welcome.
Glad to be back.
All right, you're glad. I'm glad you're back. So, yes, I know that last week, in the week of the instance of child beating, family domestic abuse, domestic violence cases, standardized by the case of Adrian Peterson. There's lots of voice, and somebody is is extremely vocal about it, of course, from both sides, right? So I know that you have a long issue to do talking about your China trip regarding education and your experimental school, but I would like to ask you for your comment about the child beating case. Question meaning, do we have to beat a child in order to make a good child?
Jack, to be honest with you, I'm always bothered and so frustrated every time I hear this kind of news going on and the things that going on in our society, especially in the families, community families. And I think that coming from Oriental culture background, I think that sometimes disciplined child is necessary in the family, especially us, for you and I, our background. And sometimes tapping on the butt or just yelling on child to make sure that they behave well in the family is very common sense in Oriental families or some families in community. However, beating your kids because they did not behave well, because they did not follow up your order in the family to the case that you just indicated, it's really something going beyond the line already. So it is it is a legal and illegal issue now. It's not about educating your kids in the family.
Sure. I asked quite a few of my friends about their personal takes. I would say you stand for probably about 85 to 90% of my audience, my friends. I mean, my friends on the show who I asked.
I see.
As a matter of fact, I agree with you about that take. But one thing is that even I know there's a clear line between discipline and child abuse.
That's correct.
Right? There's a clear line between education and criminals.
That's
act,
correct.
Right? So to beat a child to that extent is criminal act.
I think so.
It's nothing about nothing about
There's no
the
question about it.
issue, right? No question. So now, come back to the block of education, though. So I do not even go by the discipline part, right? Discipline sometimes can be a big word, it can be a small word, and the discipline can include punishment. Punishment can be even severe, very severe. So I have a different take. But anyway, that is a check about my friend, founder and the CEO of California Sunshine Education Center, Mr. Wei Law. So we have to jump on to our planned subject today, right? So you went to China to your experimental school, right? So what did you do this time?
Okay, as usual, every time before the school school begins every fall, I would go back to China to our school, our partner school. It's not my school because you know that it's a collaboration of educators between U.S. and China, and I would go back to our partner school, especially to our program, to check out that.
To insert to my friends who happen to be the first time seeing the show, though, seeing your face,
Sure.
handsome face, by the way.
I think I'm an old face now already to most of the audience
handsome
already.
old face.
Thank you very
All right,
much.
okay. Can you please give us some background about your experimental school in
Okay.
China, please?
Okay. For the dear folks, dear audience, for those of you who didn't or first time to hearing me speaking over here, that we launched a program called U.S.-China International High School Program, partnering with Weihai #1 High School in Weihai Province, in Weihai City of Shandong Province, in the year of 2011. It's actually
3 years already.
3 years ago already. And firstly, we launched the program in September, fall of 2011. And this year we had our first group of graduates already. And I would happily report it to you that 99%, I would say 100% of them admitted by the colleges and universities, both in the U.S. and UK.
Are you serious?
And other countries. Yes.
Are you serious?
Yes, I'm serious.
Oh,
happily report
That's
to that.
record-breaking.
And that's a record breaking because what amazing is, or I would say significance of this group of students is that traditionally this group of students were regarded as not good students because of academic performance, because of a test scores. However, entering into our program 3 years ago, they had a different education because we had a different curriculum. We had different assessment system. Also, we had a different environment for them to be themselves, and also growing up based upon their potential interest in the subject teaching. So going forward, although they are probably not that outstanding with most of the high school graduates in China, however, their multiple skills, their potential of going into certain fields, especially their personality as well as the emotion and spiritual world, character, being
their enthusiasm
into the future, into themselves, they are carrying their personality basically accepted by the standards of Europe and U.S. standards of college students.
What really amazed me is the fact that, okay, to be honest, you and I, in the previous shows, we talked several times about your assessment, all right? Assessment meaning that you are, by adopting different method of assessment,
yes,
right, you may produce different result.
That is correct, especially
for example, if you assess my weight, if you set a standard within 200 to 220, that's a standard male weight of my age, and then I'm super, right? And you can lower it, you can upgrade it, you can lower it, you can make it some 160 or something like that. So totally different result out of a different assessment. So that's why never once did I get so excited about hearing the result of your assessment, because assessment, like I said, the assessment standard. Now, to have them 99% or even 100% accepted, enrolled into colleges, universities, that's really something, because they use their own assessment, right?
We used our own assessment.
When the result of your assessment accepted by the entrance of schools using different
college standards,
that means your assessment
in the
and
US.
their assessment kind of a.
That is correct. You are pointing out into the point that I would give a little bit emphasis on that. Sure. Is that, and in this program, we basically combine, actually going back to the standard of assessment, it is not new to the schools and students over here in the US. And if if you go any district, if you go to any classroom, any schools here in the US, basically students are assessed throughout the process of the classes, not just because of the test scores. Sure. However, this is new to Chinese school system. And 3 years, fortunately, 3 years ago, luckily I would say, that the educators and leaders in the Weihai city had a provision or a vision to embody us, to embrace us as a partner to test the different system other than the traditional Chinese system. And as a result, that we have very, very optimism outcomes.
And that's really amazing. 3 years making such a huge difference. That's really something that caught my eye, that will cause you the same way. So back to my audience, today joining me in one more discussion about education is my good friend, Mr. Wei Luo, founder and CEO of California Sunshine Education Center. As you just heard about it, during the past 3 years, they have done a great job. They have been doing a great job by putting the curriculums of the United States together with China's to create a new standardized curricular system by which they adopted a new set of assessment skills or measures, and the result of which, after 3 years, the graduates of their high school were 100% accepted by colleges, universities of China, or adopting different assessment, traditional assessment, right? So that's a really, really big news to hang on to. Let's take a short break. When we come back, we'll find out what have they done, or what were they doing during the past 3 years, especially the last trip. So stay with us.